There is a quiet moment in many homes that most people miss. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't demand attention. It happens softly, almost invisibly. And yet, in the emotional world of a cat, it is one of the most significant events that can occur. It is the moment a cat opens their world to you. Welcome back to Cat Facts Funny, where we explore the inner emotional architecture of the bond you share with your cat. Today, we are not talking about tricks or feeding routines or funny behaviors. We are talking about access, because when a cat gives you access, something irreversible has shifted. The world of a cat is small and sacred. A cat's world is not large in the way a human world is large. It is not built on social networks or public approval. It is built on territory, memory, scent, routine, and safety. Every corner of a room has meaning. Every pathway through the house is mapped. Every elevated surface is a lookout. To a cat, the home is not just a structure. It is a controlled ecosystem. And within that ecosystem, there are layers. There is the public layer, where they eat, pass through, observe. There is the private layer, where they rest but remain alert. And then there is the sacred layer, where they are completely unguarded. Most humans only ever see the first layer. When your cat begins to bring you into the second, and eventually the third, you are witnessing trust in its purest form. Access to physical space. The first sign that a cat is opening their world is spatial permission. They begin to rest closer to you, not just in the same room but within your immediate space. They choose the chair beside you, the pillow near your head, the curve behind your knees. At first, it may seem incidental. It is not. Cats do not accidentally surrender proximity. Proximity is vulnerability. When a cat sleeps near you, they are temporarily lowering their survival guard. Even more profound is when they sleep deeply, paws loose, breathing slow, perhaps even exposing their stomach slightly without tension. That is not comfort alone. That is trust without contingency. Access to routine. Then something subtler happens. Your cat begins adjusting their rhythm around yours. They appear when you wake. They wait near the door before you arrive. They synchronize quiet time with your quiet time. Cats are creatures of habit, but they do not easily alter habit for just anyone. When their routine begins bending gently toward your presence, it means your existence has been integrated into their internal map. You are no longer an unpredictable force in their environment. You are a fixed coordinate. And for a creature who survives by predicting patterns, that is everything. Access to vulnerability. The deepest layer is emotional exposure. A cat who opens their world will show you states they hide from others. The soft trill they only use with you. The slow blink that lingers. The stretch that ends in complete stillness beside your leg. The way they briefly press their forehead against you and pause there. These are not performances. They are disclosures. In the wild, vulnerability can cost survival. So cats evolve to conceal weakness, discomfort, even affection, unless safety is absolute. When they bring that softness to you, they are saying something without language. You are not a threat to my survival. Few statements carry more weight in the animal kingdom. Invitation into observation. There is another sign people often misunderstand. Sometimes, when a cat opens their world, they begin watching you more closely. Not from suspicion, but from interest. They study your habits, your emotional shifts, your tone changes. This is not dominance. It is relational mapping. You have become part of their secure base model. They are learning how your nervous system moves. They are tracking what calm looks like on you. They are memorizing what safety feels like when you are near. In doing so, they are building attachment. The quiet test. Before full access is granted, most cats perform what could be called a quiet test. A small moment of need. A subtle approach during a vulnerable hour. Perhaps late at night. Perhaps during illness. Perhaps when something unfamiliar has disrupted their territory. They approach carefully. Not dramatically, just enough to see how you respond. If your reaction is steady, calm, respectful, the door opens wider. Trust with a cat is not built through intensity. It is built through consistency. When you become inside, there is a moment, and many cat guardians can feel it but struggle to name it, when the relationship shifts from cohabitation to belonging. Your cat no longer navigates around you. They move through you. They step across your lap as though you are part of the furniture. They groom themselves facing away from you. They close their eyes fully in your presence. You are no longer an external presence in their territory. You are internalized. In attachment psychology, this would be called secure integration. You have become part of their safe base. Your scent regulates. Your voice stabilizes. Your presence lowers vigilance. You are inside their world. Why this matters more than we realize. Humans often measure love through visible excitement, greetings, affection, dramatic displays. But cats measure safety first. And only after safety is guaranteed does affection deepen. So when a cat opens their world to you, what you are witnessing is not dependency. It is voluntary trust. A cat does not need to attach in the way dogs evolved to attach. Their survival does not require social loyalty to humans, which makes their attachment choice far more intentional. They are not programmed to surrender their inner world. They decide to, and they decided to include you. The responsibility of being let in. Access carries responsibility. Once inside a cat's emotional territory, your behavior shapes their sense of security. Sudden unpredictability, harsh reactions, or inconsistency can close layers again. Cats can retract access just as quietly as they grant it. But when the environment remains steady, when your presence remains calm, the bond deepens in silence. Over time, the trust becomes so stable that it feels ordinary. And that is perhaps the most beautiful part, because when safety feels ordinary, it means it is complete. The quiet expansion of territory. When a cat truly opens their world to you, something subtle begins to happen. Their territory expands not physically but relationally. Spaces that were once purely functional become shared. The windowsill is no longer just a lookout point. It is where they sit while you work. The bed is no longer just a sleeping surface. It becomes a synchronized resting place. Even their favorite hidden corners feel less hidden when you are nearby. This expansion is not dramatic. It unfolds gradually. A cat does not announce that you are now included in their map of safety. They simply begin to move differently around you with less calculation, less distance, less guarded awareness. And one day, you realize they no longer retreat when you enter a room. They remain. They stretch. They continue grooming. They behave as though your presence is not an interruption, but an extension of the environment itself. That is when you understand. You are no longer navigating their world carefully. You are part of it. The silence that follows trust. There is a paradox in deep connection with a cat. The more secure the bond becomes, the less visible it appears. Early trust feels noticeable. You celebrate the first slow blink, the first time they sleep near you, the first voluntary approach. But once trust stabilizes, it stops announcing itself. It becomes quiet. Your cat no longer needs to test the bond. They no longer monitor your reactions as closely. They no longer hesitate before settling beside you. The vigilance fades into background stillness. And what replaces it is something almost invisible: ease. They move through the home with softness. They rest without scanning. They close their eyes fully. They allow their breathing to slow in your presence. If you have ever felt your cat choose you in a quiet way, if you have noticed them rest more deeply, watch you softly, or follow you without demand, you may already be inside their world. And that is not a small place to stand. It is sacred. Thank you for being here at Cat Facts Funny, where we explore the emotional psychology behind the bond you share with your cat. If this reflection helped you see your relationship through a deeper lens, consider subscribing and joining us for the next quiet truth hidden inside your cat's behavior. Until then, notice the small doors. Sometimes they are already open,